watching Arise, the world's standout news channel. Arise News, awards, and beyond.
I want to appreciate you all for coming within a short notice to our home here in Akokwa, in Idato North local government area of Idato Federal Constituency. So with me this evening is the national chairman of the Action People's Party, APP, Barrister Ugochinyere, who you are aware the day before yesterday admitted me to the Big Elephant Party, the Action People's Party here in Akokwa, which was a wonderful ceremony that saw me cross over from the PDP to the Action People's Party, APP, the Big Elephant Party. Barrister Ugochinyere, you are welcome. And on behalf of Idato people, I want to thank you so much for the honor and privilege of coming with the national officers of the APP to receive me into the Big Elephant Party. May God bless you as you go back. And maybe before I continue my briefing, you may want to thank our people for this great moment that we had the day before yesterday.
Thank you so much. I want to thank you for the warm reception you have given to us. You have given to me and the members of the National Executive Committee who came to receive you, who came with me to receive you into the party. And I also want to thank the good people of Idato for the support, for the love, the outpouring love, the uncommon love they have shown to you during the rally and the few days I have stayed in your country home. It is massive. I want to also thank Ndimo for the support they have given to our party within these few days. Your defection to our party has shown massive membership registration within the last 24 hours. It is unprecedented. It has never happened. This is to show that your people love you. I want to tell Ndimo that APP is the future. If you have not registered with the party, go and do so. APP is the way to go. Thank you, Right Honorable.
So, I thank you once again, my national chairman, for admitting me to the APP. And I may use this opportunity also to call on my friends and associates, both lawmakers, both at the lower, at the House of Representatives and the Senate, and governors who have been looking for a platform to join for their political future, to come to the APP, the Action People's Party, the party with the logo of the Big Elephant, one of the country's most stable and secured political party, with no history of leadership crisis from formation, peopled by the energy of the young people, the strength of the elephant, accommodating and ruthless to illegal obstruction. So I want anybody who is in search of a political party that has stability, that he wants to go, to come to the Action People's Party, APP, Nigeria's fastest growing political party, and register and realize your ambition so that you can be at the ballot without wasting your energy and resources and end up not being on the ballot because of leadership crisis. So I thank you, my national chairman, for admitting me into the Action People's Party, APP. May God bless you. In the last few days, events have been so fast, especially as it has to do with the crisis in Rivers State. For some time now, I have tried my best to stay away from commenting on Rivers issue because I wanted peace to endure. I wanted peace to be consolidated. And I know what the people of Rivers State has gone through as a result of this crisis: bombing, destructions, killings, and so on and so forth, as a result of this struggle to regain power. It got to a point that people who were even carrying the bomb to attack Presidential Hotel, it exploded and some of them were injured. So it had been a very difficult moment for Rivers people. And I strongly believe that anything that anybody can do to support, to ensure that there is peace, one has to do that. That is why, after the declaration of the emergency and the reconciliation afterwards, I decided not to comment on those issues, whether at the level of our coalition of concerned federal lawmakers, as CEPP will try to stay away from those comments. But it looks like there is people that no matter whatever you do in search for peace, they find it difficult to be able to allow peace to reign. This recent crisis is unprovoked, unwarranted, and also baseless. There was no need for that. And before I proceed, I want to talk to my friends and allies, especially the good people of Rivers State who love me so much in majority, that let nobody be provoked by this unprovoked attack. Let nobody go on the war mood. Let nobody destroy anything, because what they want is to provoke you, inflame the situation so that you can react, giving room for them to do what they know how to do best. I think that everybody should go about their business and ignore this latest provocative action. And one reason why I called this briefing is to put one record straight. Because most times when people give out false narrative, it tends to stick because nobody has been able to counter it. And also, even though I don't want to descend so low to join issues with houseboys who are working for the FCT ministers, whether you call them as lawmakers or whatever you call them. But I want to clear one particular issue. As a federal lawmaker, I remember vividly when the emergency was declared. And I want Nigerians to listen to this part, because this is even the main reason why I wanted to speak to Nigerians today. When the emergency was declared, the president sent the Rivers State 2025 budget to us. After the Supreme Court decision that there must be a budget that is passed before revenue can be released, the president, after declaring the emergency, sent a budget estimate of 1.4 trillion in May 2025. And I want to repeat again. The 2025 budget of Rivers State was sent to us as federal lawmakers by going by the provision of the Constitution. When emergency is declared, we take over the functions of the State Assembly. So the Rivers State House of Assembly, as of the time emergency was declared, was the National Assembly. And budget was present. And that's why I took our time to get the votes and proceedings of the House of Representatives and the ad hoc, the adoption of the report of the ad hoc committee on Rivers State that looked at that budget. So the president sent the budget on 22nd May 2025. And I want everybody to take note of this date. And like I said, I'm doing this to put records straight so that people understand that this new offensive was unprovoked, not necessary, designed to destabilize the peace and the effort of the president to have peace in that state and to distract governance. Then by 25th June, the Senate okayed it. And by 22nd July, the House of Representatives passed it. That is the 2025 budget of the Rivers State, the 2025 budget of Rivers State government. And that report was led by the House leader, Honorable Julius Ihombere. Exactly, he led it on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. Now, and let me read an extract from it. That the House do receive the report of the ad hoc committee on Rivers State on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Rivers State government statutory revenue of the Rivers State Statutory Revenue Fund of the River State account the total sum of 1,385,662,592,444 naira only, while the sum of 250,639,639 naira only is for personnel costs. The sum of 162,582,693,678 naira only is for overhead costs, while the sum of 1,66,656,204 naira and 127 kobo only is for capital expenditure. Now, I hope Nigerians understand what I just read. What I just read is the 2025 budget of the River State government presented by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the time of the emergency, which was considered by the National Assembly and passed with the total sum of 1.4 trillion naira. Why is this important? I went learn to get this from the National Assembly record for this briefing because when I saw the main matter in the alleged impeachable offenses that have been leveled by the guys in the House of Assembly, they kept on hammering on refusal to implement financial autonomy and expenditure of fund that is not budgeted for. That is, there is no budget. And I kept on hearing from them that budgets have not been presented. Just because somebody somewhere called you to go and destabilize the state that is having peace. The budget have been presented. And going by all the financial laws and regulations, these budgets have a lifespan of 1 year. So if we considered and adopted this on July 2025, common sense will tell you that expenditure will continue to run till July 2026. So asking the man to present a budget of 2025 is unconstitutional, is insulting on the principles of democracy and constitutionalism. And I remember very well, on that day, my brother, Ugochinyere, who is a minority leader and a good ally of Nyesom Wike, raised an objection which was so suspicious. And now I know why that day he raised that amendment that failed. Chinda said that this budget should be limited to 6 months, so that when the lifespan of the administrator ends, that the governor, when he returns back from emergency, can present a new budget. I remember I jumped up in opposition because I sensed something. I said, you can't rewrite the constitutional and financial laws. The budget is a 1 year estimate going by the Constitution and the Financial Act. And that day, the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezekalo, was presiding. And this matter was debated. And I stated the enabling laws that there's no way budget can be for 6 months. That is just like you saying, if a governor that is supposed to hand over on May 29, that when he's presenting his budget for the year of his exit, that he should limit the budget to be from January to May 29. No. Governors present the 1 year plan. Even when you hand over by May 29, the budget continues to run into the lifespan of the new governor. So the highest the governor can do, if he does not agree with some aspects of the budget or is not in line with his agenda, he can propose a supplementary budget. That's how it functions. Even when the president is leaving, he presents the last year budget. The new president can work with it or present a supplementary. It's a law. And that was why I opposed the decision then by Ugochinyere to limit it to 6 months. I didn't know that I was actually working for the future. Because if he had had his way, there would have been a legitimate grant for this new agitation. So this issue came up, and the deputy speaker ruled and even admonished us and said that we should remember that we may be in power today, tomorrow we may not even be. We should allow constitutionalism to run its full course. And that was, I remember also, my colleague Nyampa, who also seconded my objection. And they put it to vote. A majority in the House supported that the budget should be left as a one-year proposal. And the House unanimously passed the 2025 Rivers State budget. And that is the budget I took out time to read the summary of that report that was led by the House Majority Leader, my brother Honorable Julius Ihombere. That the House do receive the report, and let me read it again for those who just joined. That the House do receive the report of the ad hoc committee on Rivers State on a bill for an hour to authorize the issue from the Rivers State Statutory Revenue Fund or the Rivers State account, the total sum of 1,485,662,592,444 naira only. That is the 2025 budget that they are now lying to people. That there's no budget, that he should come and present budget. So when he has to do with all this noise all over the place, and this same House adjourned the last time I remember to January 28th. What has happened in the last few hours that have made you adjourned to 28th, which is not too far from today? All of a sudden, you assembled yesterday, the day before yesterday, and you have served impeachment notice. Because you consider yourself a houseboy that somebody can call on the phone and say, go and sit and serve notice. And then you couldn't find any point to use other than to recycle allegations that statutorily are dead, and the Supreme Court have decided on them and have been complied with. That the budget have been presented and the budget have been passed, and the man is implementing the budget, and that the highest thing he could have done is to put for supplementary, which there was no need for. And that this budget will continue to run until around July, August of 2026. That is when he will come and present a new budget. So, without holding forth for the man have not breached any section of the Constitution. So why this tension now? Why this crisis? We have gone through this before. We hear all sorts of statements. Agreement is agreement. I said, when people go about having agreement or discussing about agreement that is in pure violation of the Constitution, should we as a nation elevate it to a stage of national discussion? Are we not failing as a country? If you go to New York, go to California, do you see former governors in California, in New York, mayor in London running around their predecessor, talking about agreement is agreement, or talking about I will remove, I will put? This is democracy. And people should be allowed the right to choose. And if we continue to do this part, then that means all the effort of our founding fathers, all the effort they have made to give us independence is useless if at this year we are running around on individual interests. People have made sacrifice for this peace. And at times, without holding forth, I haven't spoken to anybody in that River State. But I feel for them. I can imagine, as a man, you concede so much for peace to reign. There was local government election, which our party, the Big Elephant Party, APP, won. Landslide. We lost it at the Supreme Court. We accepted the decision of the Supreme Court. Then another local government election was conducted. The minister took all the position. At times, even when you take things, you should have conscience to say, can this help peace? Can this endure for peace? You took it all. Now you can see why he took all of them. You see local government chairmen who disrespect their governor. You see local government chairman who goes to organize rally for the former governor and doesn't attend functions of their governor. And the man endured all these things. His own members of the House of Assembly, you don't invite them to sit in. The man endures it. You put appointees who are not loyal to him, the man endures it. What is all this about? And today is not time for anger. I just want reason to prevail on these actors. To look at the interests of the people. To look at the interests of the people. I remember when Nyesom Wike was governor, he used to travel to Lagos, to Ambode, to tell him to resist Tinubu at all costs. I remember very well. I used to remember when he used to travel to Edo to tell Obaseki to resist Oshomole at all costs. That godfatherism is evil and unacceptable in a democratic setting. But today, it's only not just godfatherism, but it's capture of every arm of government and turning the guys in the House of Assembly to become like a joke. The president made this peace. Even though for some of us that were constitutionalists, we never liked it that way. But we say anything for peace. When the man was implementing peace, the former Attorney General went to smuggle a case in court and refused to withdraw it and got the judgment that said that lawmakers who lost their seat and have become are still lawmakers. Pure heart is what some people are lacking in this whole crisis. And I want to employ the people of Rivers that this is time to show them maturity. Do not react. Ignore. This will phase away. This will die away. Because if you react unnecessarily, you walk into their trap. There's nothing that warrants panic, because there's nothing in this motion or allegation of impeachment, which is supposed to come as a petition, that have not been dealt by the Supreme Court and have not been implemented. Both the autonomy, both the issue of budget, even the House of Assembly that has almost been completed. In order to make sure they don't go there, they moved the motion and said they will continue to sit in their bedroom in Port Harcourt. That's where you want to be staying. But you need to understand that every effort to make people bond, every effort to make this crisis to be resolved, you see some people do not want it to be resolved. The House of Assembly will not go to meeting. They will not answer phone call. They will not sit with the man until you get approval of the big man. And that brings me to, I know the president is listening, and I want to talk to president that I appreciate all the effort that he has made to resolve these issues. But let us look at the cost of this crisis on our democracy, on our rule of law, on the electoral process. This crisis has led to strange interpretation from the court. This crisis has led to bombing. This crisis has led to emergency. This crisis has led to all series of, this crisis has led to destruction of political parties, reminding us of the crisis of the 1962, when a dispute between Awolowo and Akintele in action group skyrocketed to other crises. You should remember, Mr. President, all this contributed up to 63. Ethnicism, a federal interference with one of the factions against Awolowo, and everything led to the collapse of democracy. We moved to 83. The MPN flaunting federal might left, right, and center with their ministers and their federal appointees against the MPP and the and other political parties. It led also to crisis. And those crises led to collapse of democracy. Even where results were not written, I remember how Mbakwe have to struggle. All of them in an attempt to retain their mandate from federal interference. Those crises led to loss of confidence in the electoral process. Drag our police then, the IG then so infamous. At the end of the day, it gave room to collapse, even after the election in 1983. So when this actor starts to emerge, like they emerged in 1962, like they emerged in 63, like they emerged in 83, like they emerged in 92, and all the other years that they emerged, the consequences has been too hard for our democracy. And then what is the value? Election held in Rivers for the presidential election, despite all the boasting. Mr. President, what those who are fermenting these troubles scored for you was 231,591 votes. 231. 231,000. So, Mr. President, I want you to measure the past gain and what you're expecting as the new gain. And Obi came to 175,000. If you do plus or minus, it was just a manageable 50-something thousand. That's what you used to win Rivers, with all the mutilations and everything. So, without state institutions and abracadabra and talks, these people are not even on the ground. But the vote used in winning the coalition was so way higher than the one used in the presidential. Meaning they have not connected to the people in selling your agenda. And they are the greatest beneficiary of your regime. And make no mistake, Mr. President, and I want to tell you this, Mr. President. You are the one that have done them great favor. You are the one that have rehabilitated them. Because I keep wondering where they will be today. And Mr. President, you need to know that in terms of finance and empowerment, they have over-benefited. You need to check what they're doing with the FCT land. That will be another conversation that I will have another day, of how over 7 million square meters of land has gone to 2-3 individuals. So there's no favor here. When they shout renewed whole family agenda, it is because they need your shade, your cover to continue to benefit financially, to benefit politically. But they're dragging your brand down. They're bringing so much hate and crisis. The other day they were attacking the president of Ohaneze Ndigbo. How do you attack the president of the Igbo nation? How do you want me to feel as an Igbo man? Will you attack the Sultan of Sokoto? Are Igbos inferior? But these are your appointees. You have to stop them. How does this add to your vote? Igbos dominate the Ikwere ISIS and Obiakpa ISIS. And when they attack us, when they insult the President General and the leader of the Igbo nation worldwide, I want Igbo people to vote? I feel the cost is too much. The cost is too much on you. And everybody looks up to you to say, stop. Because you are feeding them. You are feeding them. And they are benefiting so immensely from you. You are the one that have done them favor. Like I told you, 231,000. That was the total vote cast you got from Rivers. And Obi was 175,000. 50-something thousand. You have paid for the 50-something thousand, Mr. President. You have overpaid. With over 8-9 million square meters of land gone to individual. You have paid, Oga. You have paid. So now don't allow them to burn down democracy. Don't allow them to turn the country upside down like we had in 1962. It starts small. 83, 63. It starts small. The whole world is watching. If tomorrow now they classify Nigeria as a country where democracy is under threat, we'll start to scream. But the indices are now growing from the actors of these elements who you have helped. They are no longer doing your work. They are now doing their work. I'm not in your party. The governor is in your party. They are not even in your party. And then they are attacking your party members. The same thing they did to PDP. The same crisis, the same divisions. They are bringing it to your party. Very soon they will be in court. And your party will not have candidates in some states. And I'm not here to advise the APC. But it's time to remove your party from those crises. That's how it started in PDP. That's how national officers of PDP, led by Damagu, through his wife's company, DMG Limited, collected 73,000 square meters of land from Maitama 2. And then sold the opposition party and led us to that crisis that killed our party. Now the guys from the House of Assembly are being given lands. Your land, the land of FCT. And people will be thinking that maybe, are you the one authorizing that? Which I know you are not the one. If you go there, RV 62539. Some of the House of Assembly guys. Even the one that used to insult the governor. So when they do all this, Nigerians need to understand, this is land induced. Almost, 15,000 square meter of land in Kukwaba with file number M1SC 150306. Given to one of the one that likes to insult me and insult the governor. With his company, NOC Integrated Services. 15,000. 15,000 square meters. The other day I saw Gaidam, the zonal vice chairman or the zonal vice chairman or whatever of APC, your own party, attacking your own governor and calling the governor so-called governor. Nigerians will think that he's speaking with his head correct. He's speaking because his company, Cedar Point Engineering Company, collected land in Gusape 2. File number 156344. All the guys from the House of Assembly. So this new impeachment is land induced. And when people say, oh, why can't the governor get them? What will he use to get them? Are you not seeing the quantity of land I'm talking about? Over 8 million square meters of land, Mr. President. And if you want, call me this time, Mr. President, I will read all the fines to you. I will give them to you. And I don't want us to dwell on it. Because what I have seen, with all due respect, people across all board, legislator, judiciary, security agencies, law officers involved in this. I say you need to understand why this crisis refuses to end. It's fueled by land. And because I have respect for a lot of people and for Mr. President, I want you to call them, let this crisis stop. There's nothing they are fighting. Public institution belongs to the people. It's not a private property. When people want to die and kill themselves over the pulse of the people, you begin to wonder, is Africa cursed? Is that the conversation in New York, in Dubai, in America, in London, in China, where we go? The same thing Baba Dedibu used to do in Oyo with Ladoja. Today, everything has an end. All those people that used to cheer him up, are they going to check how Dedibu family is doing? No. So when they gather around them, championing them, it is because of land. And if this thing does not end, I will bring out, they're all safe, both in London and in Lagos. It's kept safe, very safe. All the documents are safe in London. And they're in safe hands. All I need is like this, and the whole documents will drop, including those who have sold their own, and who they sold it to, and how they collected the money from bring the change. We're talking of over 8 million square meters of land. And those people I'm talking to know, I have all of them. So I don't want to be pushed to speak about these issues. I want to respect everybody. But the Action People's Party, APP, and lawmakers who are concerned for the need for stability, wants this crisis, which is fight over people's wealth and resources, to end. You had a 600 billion naira left. You want him to bring budget, so you chop something. You forgot that we have passed the budget. We have passed the budget. 2025 budget, we have passed it. So you can't ask the state government to present a budget. The only time they can present a budget is after August or thereabout 2026. So what is the basis for the so-called impeachment? If not that somebody wants to blackmail somebody somewhere or harass somebody to get more agreement or more concessions against a sovereign people, has rival people become so insignificant that they can't decide their affairs any longer? That those who have ruled them before will hold them hostage? Even the ruling party, I'm not seeing your statement up to now when your governor is under a fresh assault that is based on a ground that is illegal, unknown to law, because we have passed the budget. Mr. President, we led the budget, we passed it. 2025 budget. So there's no basis asking him to represent a budget. You have to speak up. You have a national vice chairman of a party insulting the governor of his party because he got land. You see lawmakers having impeachment because they got land. You see lawyers filing applications because there's a particular lawyer. It's an SAN. He got 1 million square meter of land. I will show it if this thing does not stop and what he's doing with them. 1 million square meter. And he's filing frivolous application left, right, and center. Our institutions are being compromised. As a lover of democracy and soldier of rule of law, I feel this is unnecessary. And these are indices that can lead us to the crisis of 1962, 1963, 1983, and all those crises fermented by desperados who keep hiding under the fact that they claim to be working for the federal government while pursuing their narrow interest. This is about just a small interest to continue to hold the resources and governance of a sovereign people, even when you have no other business being there. So that is why I said it's an advisory. I called you people here today to thank my national chairman who came to admit me into the APP, and also to thank Ijato people who came to Akoko a day before yesterday for my triumphant entry into the APP. And to also clear this fact about the issue of budget presentation. There is no need. In short, it is an illegal call to ask for 2025 budget because the budget has been presented and passed. And this presentation was done on Tuesday, 22 July 2025, after the president led the budget on 22nd May 2025. So Nigerians, the Rivers State 2025 budget was presented to us federal lawmakers because whenever there's an emergency, the National Assembly takes over. And we passed it. And by passing it, by adopting it by July 22nd, 2025, common sense will tell that 1 year is what is supposed to run. That means it's supposed to run end by July or thereabout 2026. Then a new one will be presented. So how can somebody be asking the man to go and present 2025 budget? Just because you just want an excuse to throw the state into crisis. So I appeal for calm. The things I have today, I don't want to bring it, so that I do not undermine any effort for peace. But if this continues, then I have to bring all the evidences of land racketeering, money laundering, and how they have fueled the crisis, and now have undermined judiciaries, undermined the political parties, and threatened the very foundation of our democracy. So I will tell them to keep it. Don't bring it yet. But if this continues, then the world must know. Our international friend must know. So that those people, when they cross this border, they can be arrested for foreign corrupt practices. This crisis has caused crisis in judiciary, has caused crisis in political parties. It's all related to the crisis both in Labour, both in ADC, both in PDP. Those you see jumping up, all of them jumping up in PDP that fueled the crisis. It was also land fueled. And I challenge any of them to open their mouth and say, "Pim, pim," just say, "Pim." I will bring out your own, including how the people you sold it to paid you and where the money is. Just "Pim, pim" is all you need to say. Who do I start from? Is it Danobi that is helping in fueling the crisis? His company, Clarkson, have received no less than over 200,000 square meters of land. Is it Damagu that first ignited the crisis that affected River State and affected the entire PDP? DMG, Safia Damagu, 73 in Maitama 2. I don't want to go into this, because the day I will go into this, the whole country will shake. Because even some of the people you respect, their hands were dipped in it. Even those who use layers and layers of company, don't think that we don't know. We have traced it to the last person, including where it is and where the money it is, the location of the land, how it has been sold. And the president, you may not know. And I say, call me, and I will give you. You may not know the magnitude of what we're talking about. So it's not even about you. It's about some people trying to use the privileged position you gave them to stifle democracy, stifle rule of law, stifle judiciary, stifle individuals. Why all of them quoting your name? Renewed hope, renewed hope. Because it looks like it's the end thing for certain people. Once they shout it, they feel they can get away with anything they do. But you need to advise them. The whole world, people are now irritated, especially with this new notice of impeachment. Even if you are joking, there are certain things you don't joke with. Why go lie that the man should present 2025 budget. A budget that, Mr. President, you led and we approved. 22nd May, you brought it. And July 22nd, we approved it. 1.4 trillion naira. Passed. So inspiration is around August 2026 or thereabouts. So how are you now accusing the man for being in default? The man didn't make any appointment that requires screening. He reshuffled cabinet and moved people to attorney general position. He replaced some special advisors. He has not made any statutory appointment. So if those ones that have been made, that benefited them, why are they not talking about it if they say it was wrong? You did local government election, you took everything. The man accepted. Something that if it's me, I would rather hang myself than accept those things. But the man is so humble. He wants peace. And now he's paying through his nose for peace. People are even ridiculing him for supporting peace and for listening to him, Mr. President. And I want the ruling party to watch their back. Their party is going to be fragmented. I have seen salvos fired at the whole national secretary of their ruling party. No respect. No respect at all. Their national secretary. So now they can attack the national secretary because he does not agree to what will help their interests in Rivers. So the day Mr. President does not agree, he wants to be within the firing range because it's the standard. There's nobody that has not been within that firing once you defeat from helping them. Amechi went through that firing range because they disagreed. Azotambata there's no name they have not called him. What's his name? Peter Odela and his wife. They used to call mommy and daddy and kneel down for. Jonathan. Is he Adamu Muaz? Is he Alimodu Sheriff? Is it Ayo? Just tell me the person that's not within that firing range. How can you be at war with everybody? And then they say, oh, making Fobara a governor is a mistake. Wow. Everything you have done in your life is a mistake. Everybody is a mistake. Except those who are licking your shoe. And those you are serving, who are feeding you. Once you turn your back against them, they are a total mistake. So it's not about the man. It's about nature. I don't want to dabble into the internal issues there, but anything that affects stability of the country's democracy, that affects participatory democracy, that undermines our judiciary, irritates me. And I don't want to care how the person feels about it. Or whether you attack me or try to assassinate me. On this very ground where we sit today, that is where the first slaughter happened of Uncle Dan. Right here, the blood was flowing down this way. In this my compound. That's where those assassins back from Owerri, that's where they slaughtered him. I sit here today as a reminder that people have paid great sacrifice for this our struggle. And I must use every life in me to continue to advance that cause of democracy. And we cannot, because our loved ones were killed right here, shy away from defending and standing in defense of democracy. We are fully prepared now for any offensive to defend ourselves. Yes, we are. Make no mistake about it. Yes, we are. So we'll appeal to our dear president to please intervene before this goes out of hand again. Before people start carrying explosive towards presidential hotel as usual. We can stop this now by telling people to be reasonable. This joke, this 1 minute you tell the boys in the House of Assembly, they come to APC, they will rush and decamp, thinking that they will get cover. When their seat is the cover, they run back and say, we did not decamp again, no. Something they did on TV. Again, they have run and divided themselves into two. Half have decamped again. What is all this abnormality? And our judiciaries are being brought into it to make interpretation that is, some of them weighed. So the cost of this crisis, the cost of the crisis is affecting the finances of the people, is affecting stability of the people, is affecting opposition party, is affecting judiciary, is affecting the political stability, is affecting parliament, is affecting everything. And like I told you, it started small between Akintola and Awolowo in 1962. We led to exchange of gunfire and things were pulled down. 63, 83. The rascality was so much and democracy just sank like Titanic. As lovers of democracy, That's why we keep shouting. We don't want to return back to those era. And these people doing this are insignificant to the struggles of what our forefathers gave to us. All those they fought by multiple times for us to have independence with the independence motion of the 50s. All those reconciliation, all those constitutional conference, all those visits to London was to give us a country that we should be proud of, that should be the biggest and the heartbeat of African democracy. And then years after, we're discussing about one man losing a presidential primary, losing his quest to be VP, and then boom, everything must be brought down. That's what we're discussing. Is that why I teach my children that this is how it's going to be done? And adults cannot speak because they collected land? We should be ashamed of ourselves. That this is what our generation is discussing. And there's so much noise and tension everywhere. For what? Why? Years after practicing democracy, we couldn't make any headway. We mutilate the result. People from fourth position will come to first. Judgment that you don't know where it's coming from will be dropping. Years after the independence. We're supposed to lead Africa. We're supposed to lead the world. We're supposed to be the guiding light, the shining light. Look at Ghana getting the democratic process right. Look at South Africa. We see run around, results will not come for election day, results will be mutilated. What is uploaded is different from what is announced. People who go about belong to 3 political parties at the same time. They cannot be man enough to say, let me go to. Is it not me that wants to move? I move to the Action People's Party, APP. This is my national chairman who want to rebuild. The hard work and reward for electoral hard work is victory at the polls. And that's what we want to end every vote. But some people cannot. They must either destroy what is existing or hang on to what they did not build. And it's not do or die for us. That's why after the killing here in this compound, we went on exile. And our people elected us. A great honor that our Igdato people gave to us. And that's why we carry this so sacred. And our voice continues to be heard as voice of hope. And I want Nigeria to come out from this path. This cannot solve insecurity. This cannot solve financial challenges. This can only escalate the situation in the country and makes the country ungovernable. Other things, some are building in Kano now. Some are different parts of the country. It's just building. If we don't nip these ones completely, other ones will escalate. And we have so much insecurity in the country. And you cannot bring somebody to come and eat from your plate, then he will scatter it. In Igbo, Mr. President, you brought him to partake. All he brought was 50-something thousand votes that they struggled to mutilate. If you see the result sheet, even you say will not be proud of what they did. 50-something thousand. And I can tell you, Mr. President, this night, that you have overpaid for it. You gave them a job with which they have empowered all their people, empowered their followers, and using it to ferment trouble. You have helped greatly. But let them not cost you your presidency with the tension they are building all over the country in the name of helping you, while in actual fact, they are trying to help themselves to seize what is not their own. They're all over the place. They are not bringing followers. Rather, they are scaring people, creating tension, making people believe that the vote will not count. How do you make a people believe the vote will not count and you still want stability? It's not going to be possible. Because people will start looking for alternative. So, in summary of my briefing this evening, which I hope should be the last, as I do not intend to be disturbed in this village where I am with my people here in the great ancient city of Akokwa and Idato Nation, the great Wabossi, Mbanasa and Arondizo clan. I do not want to be disturbed here again, hearing these tensions left, right, and center. I want to enjoy my stay here in Akokwa. Let all these things be resolved, so that I do not bring out what can cause so much crisis. Because most of them go to the very root of money laundering, corruption, racketeering, that has influenced certain decisions. And like I said before, different arms of government were involved. I do not want us to go there. Mr. President, I do not want us to go there. The best I can do is to send them to you for you to act. If these people can be called to order. We want peace, we want stability. So in concluding, I called you all to inform you, as you already were, for those who didn't attend, that I have decamped from PDP to Action People's Party, APP, the party with the logo of the elephant, led by Barrister Ugochinyere. And that I intend to seek any further political aspiration, whichever position that my people wants me to go, under the banner of the APP. And working with our comrades, brothers, some in the House of Reps, some former rep members who are also going to decamp in the coming days, and our leader here in the state, Mazi Chimamad, who has also decamped, that will work so hard to earn every electoral vote, because we believe in the sacred principle of party-president democracy rooted in the transparency of the ballot. And that also, that the impeachment notice is another distraction and an unprovoked attack to destabilize peace and undermine the effort of the president to ensure that peace reigns in Rivers. That the basis for those new notices are baseless, unconstitutional, especially the allegation that there was no budget. And that as a federal lawmaker, I participated in the consideration of the 2025 Rivers State budget, which was led by Mr. President on 22nd May 2025, which was considered and adopted by us on 22nd July 2025 in a report led by our leader, Julius Ihomberry. And the budget estimate that we approve is total 1,485,662,592,444 naira only. That is the budget, and the budget will expire around July, August 2026. That is when the governor of Rivers, Governor Sam Fubara, is expected to have presented a new budget. So the directive not to come and present budget is so childish, because there's no budget that is supposed to be presented to you. So why are you suspending him from presenting 2026 budget? It's not yet time for that. It's not yet time for that. And that it's high time we call these boys to order to draw a line between their servitude to individual and bastardization of institution. You adjourn to 28 January, somebody calls you to run back, you run back again, and Saturday before you sit down thereabout, and you just issued impeachment notice just to destabilize the place. Because I believe, in my own understanding, that maybe somebody thinks that if we serve this notice, tension will inflame everywhere, crisis will inflame everywhere, then they say, okay, come back to the table, offer this, don't do this, don't go for this. No, that's blackmail. That's blackmail. And that these guys who are doing this have been collecting land as a motivation for their action. And they have all their land documents, including those who have sold their own. And that most party leaders and chieftains, both in the APC and both in the PDP and other arms of government, have been highly compromised with this land, that when people speak, you ask them, actually, how many square meters do you have? And that because of my respect to the president, I will intend not to list these beneficiaries of over 9 million square meters of land that have been bastardized to these individuals and their companies, which has fueled this onslaught against democracy, that have put our judiciary under pressure, put our political system under pressure, that I hope that this crisis will be resolved immediately, or else I will be forced to produce this evidence of money laundering, of racketeering, of corruption, and how they were linked to how this crisis have undermined the judiciary, undermined the parliament, undermined the democratic process, and compromised the opposition party. And I will take it and give it even to the international community to designate those people as enemies of democracy. But I do not want us to get to that point. And that is why I cut short my rest here in Akokwa to speak to them, because I know they are listening to me. That all I ask of all of you is let peace reign. Let us go to the polls when the time comes, and whosoever wins, let him take. We cannot burn down our institutions and our democracy in furtherance of interests of individuals. And that I have gone around the whole world, I have seen that that is not the headlines I see in New York Times or in LA Times, the former governor of New York chasing his predecessor, or the former this person chasing this person, or governors who now live in Abuja state of their states. I've been in Washington many times. I don't see U.S. governors running like house boys all over Washington or Trump. I can't even imagine when last I saw 2 or 3 governors around Trump. But here, people will leave whatever they're supposed to do and be doing eye service, filtering away their state resources, filtering away local government resources, and left their core responsibility. And that's why there's so much insecurity all over the place. Most of our problems today in Nigeria is not even caused by federal government. It is caused by the failure of leadership by some of these governors who think that the only way, whether former or present, is to continue to run around in sycophantic way. So, Mr. President, the tax is on your table. You are in the party of the majority, and most of these actors are working for you. Call them to order. That let them not take us the path of the 1982 crisis between Akintola and Awolowo, all the 63 crises, all the 83 crises, which all had severe consequences for democracy. So I appeal for calm from Rivers people. I appeal for calm from the contending parties, that as lovers of democracy, these issues can be resolved without us going through the same path that led to loss of life, bombing, destruction, pressure on judiciary. Those who have benefited from the land bazaar, enjoy your land in peace and do not provoke the stability of the country, or else, like I said before, I will release those evidences of corruption, those evidences of money laundering, those evidences of racketeering, and how they are connected to the parliament, to the judiciary, and the core beneficiaries, for Nigerians to understand that this crisis is not about anything in the interest of the people, but men who are highly compromised and who can go to any length to appreciate those who have compromised them to the detriment of our institution. I want to thank Nigerians. I want to thank the national chairman of the Action People's Party, APP, Barry Ugochinyere, who is here with us in Akokwa, the home of warriors. And also want to thank other top people who also across the camera watching me, who always keep vigil with me here, and our security agencies who also helping to maintain vigilance here so that the massacre that happened here last time does not happen again. I thank you all Nigerians, and I ask for peace, peace, and nothing but peace. Thank you all, and God bless.
You're watching Arise, the world's standout news channel. Arise News, awards, and beyond.